Welcome back, everybody, on this Thursday night. We appreciate you joining us here as we continue to talk about coronavirus in Connecticut. And just moments ago, I asked you to go to our website, wfsb.com/vote now. This is a non-scientific poll, but we want to know what you think. And more than 300 of you during the commercial break weighed in. Our question was, are you worried about the economic toll the coronavirus will have on your family? And you can see the results right there in real time. The vast majority, an overwhelming number of you say yes. At this point right now, you are. And that makes a lot of sense considering what we're seeing happening right now here in Connecticut and all across the country. Well, right now, we do want to talk as well about the impact of the coronavirus on local businesses, small businesses. So many have been shut down to help flatten that curve, as they say, with the hopes that that'll keep people alive. But can businesses survive? Joining us right now to talk more about that is Lynn Ward. She's the president and CEO of the Waterbury Regional Chamber, and she's also a small business owner. Lynn, thank you very much for joining us tonight. We appreciate it.
Thank you for the opportunity, Mark.
I mentioned you're a small business owner yourself, Reward Technologies. I guess let me ask you, for your personal perspective, at what point did you start to see something was happening here that was not necessarily a good thing?
Well, for Reward Technologies, we did notice that we're getting different calls. Now people are looking for technology that they might not have needed in the past, such as power supplies for people to be able to work remotely from home. They needed to have that equipment. So we're able to supply them with that and with just general support needs. So we are seeing a change a little bit in that business. But for all businesses throughout the state, from the perspective from the Connecticut Association of Chamber of Commerce Executives, which I have the opportunity to be the president of, all chambers throughout the state are really trying to support their local businesses. And now's the time for chambers to step up to support all business, regardless of membership in a local chamber or not. We encourage people to go to chambers' websites. There's a whole host of information on those sites, from financing opportunities through the SBA, through safety workplace resources. And I know for our chamber, waterburychamber.com, there's quite a lot of information there. And we are working very hard to stay on top of all the new regulations that are coming out, all the new opportunities that are coming out, and to keep in mind that this is, it's a new time for everyone, and the business community is doing everything they can to continue to keep people safe and to continue to keep people employed. And that's certainly, our priority in the business community.
Yeah, two very big challenges right now. What are you hearing from the owners of the small businesses, in your community and elsewhere across the state, as you represent many of them, of course? What seems to be the number one concern right now from them?
Well, their number one concern is, are they going to be able to stay open? Some businesses, as you know, have been forced to close down. Many have not. So those businesses are still operating. Some of those businesses are very essential to the coronavirus and basically to the survival of everyone. So they are concerned about possibly being forced to shut down. They are working very quickly to have the technology in place to have remote workers so that they can continue to do business. Manufacturers who are, feeding the supply chain that are in essential businesses that help whether it's the medical community, transportation, all kinds of things. Those manufacturers are just reminding us that they are essential. They need to be able to continue. So, we are asking our legislators, our governor, and other state officials to keep in mind when they determine who is an essential business, that it's beyond the typical healthcare worker or the grocery store or the pharmacy, which, we keep hearing about.
You mentioned, state officials, a lot of different things, certainly at the federal level, have been passed or executive orders have taken place. Also, many state orders that the governor has issued over the past few days. Are these necessarily all good, or could they potentially, be not so good in the long run?
Well, what I'm hearing from the business owners is these policies that are coming out are great for relief overall. But for example, the paid sick leave or the FMLA bill, those are going to be basically opportunities for people to still be paid, but the business is going to have the cash flow in order to pay their people under those mandates. So businesses are looking at, how can they quickly get financing. We're grateful to the SBA that they have resources and people can go to sba.gov to start applying for loans. There are loans that are going to be available for nonprofit businesses and for-profit businesses, whether it's at a rate of 2.75 for a nonprofit business up to $2 million, or for a for-profit business to borrow up to $2 million at a rate of 3.75. So for businesses to be able to have that cash flow, that is a critical issue right now. So quick turnaround times on that is going to be very important.
I know in my own town, especially when it comes to a lot of these restaurants, I was speaking with a restaurant owner in my town the other day, and he had said, look, restaurants almost operate on a weekly basis. They bring money in, they buy what they need to keep serving and the staff and people, and they keep going week at a time. A lot of places may not be able to come back from this. I mean, what do you tell those folks?
Well, we understand that there are going to be some businesses that aren't going to be able to come back from it. What we ask is that people stay positive. Whether a business is closed already or not, they can keep the word going about how terrific that business is, maybe through social media, and stay in touch with that business. Yeah. Let them know that it matters, that you want them to come back, and that you can't wait to go for your next favorite meal. And if you did pick up, say, takeout food, in fact, on waterburychamber.com on Facebook, we have a group on there, a special group that was designed for all area restaurants to post whether or not they are doing takeout, what their specials are, all of that. So people can go to that site, see what restaurants are available in the area, and then, perhaps you have a great meal, go back on their Facebook pages, promote that, let people know that their business matters to them.
Yeah, it's a good place to end it, Lynn. I think it's important, that we ended on a positive note. I think a lot of folks right now don't know what's going to happen, but, we're all in this together. And when it's over, it's going to be important to go back out and support your local small business, support your local restaurant that you used to go to. Because, I've said, everybody has been saying for days, this is something we're all going to get through together.
Thank you, and thank you for the opportunity to join you this evening.
All right, Lynn, good luck to you in this situation.